So this week for counselor competence, it was kind of interesting to go and look and see what some of these cases are about. I have to say that it invoked a little fear in me, just to see how simple things could be and then how big they can turn. Um, some of the most common reasons that I saw for disciplinary action was that there was that a lot of some of the cases were inappropriate relationships. Also, some cases were that people just used really bad judgment. Like, for example, they rented a car for someone who went into um, a different state, and they rented it in their name for their client. And then another case was a fraud case, and it was like 400 and something $1,000 worth of fraud. So it was like a big deal. Which, I mean, $1,000 would be a big deal too. So, but it was a great sum of money. And so that was another case that I saw. And then there was another one where someone had used substances, illegal substances, at a work site. So it was just interesting to see, like, how that could really turn bad. And a lot of times that their license were taken away. And it just made me think about like all that work they did, and, just for one mistake. So ethics is definitely something that we need to be on top of. Um, I think one of the themes that I saw that was just a common reason was just a lack of boundaries and not holding true to those boundaries. And that would be like through relationships, through making decisions, inappropriate decisions for clients, and extending yourself beyond what your boundaries should be with a client. So that's just a common thing I saw through most of it. Um, One of the cases that I chose to talk about was a case where a lady was counseling a family, and it was a family of a mom and a dad and a minor child. And later, as they separated, then she terminated counseling with them over time, but eventually ended up being in a relationship with the man after counseling had ended. And that is against the ethics. And the one that I found was A5A, which says, I'm sorry, no, it was A5C, and it says sexual and or romantic relationships with former clients. It says sexual and or romantic counselor client interactions or relationships with former clients, their romantic partners, or their family members are prohibited for a period of 5 years following the last professional contact. Um, and so it didn't limit them to not ever having a relationship, but it was within those terms that they did have a relationship. It was within a year. So that ended up with her license being taken, and revoked. So that was the disciplinary action um, that proceeded from there. Um, this really just brings to mind, the questions for me that this brings to mind is just how you set clear cut boundaries and how you have those in place. I mean, I know that ethics is going to lead you in that direction, but I just really would want to have my mind made up that where lines would be crossed, so that I can be sure that that doesn't happen. Okay, thank you.